Yeah, okay, good morning, guys. Just a summary for our chapter 4, which is work, energy, I think energy, impulse, and momentum. Energy and momentum. Oh, kaya hinimo ko kasi word nga, mafit lahira-haira nga tanan. So, energy and momentum for chapter 4. So, basically, we'll just be from this book. It covers actually this chapter 6, 7, and 8. So, isa-summarize lang natin. Anyway, we're not going through all of this, but I'll just shorten it kung ano la iton pagkita ko kailangan. Of course, because of time constraint it EU Physics 1. So, I could divide it again into three discussions. The first one is, um, where are you? So I could divide it into three. The first one are energy related. So this is chapter 4. Chapter 4. The first one is energy something related concepts, energy concepts. The second one are impulse and momentum. Impulse and momentum. They call this momentum concepts. And then the third one would be, of course, application of these concepts. Yon. For energy concepts, we will be talking about, of course, work. Work, which is now W, because W has already been assigned as um, ano ba tiya? W is already been assigned as weight. So garong ko yun pag-notify W. Diba? This is work, energy concepts, work, and then you have, this is work. And then we have kinetic energy, which is K. Kinetic energy. And then we have potential energy, U. Potential. So they are what I term energy concepts. So basically, definitions lang tayo dito, or meaning we have to compute because that's the definition. Your work actually is basically the force or the summations of forces with respect to distance. Work is not a vector quantity, but it is a product of a vector quantity force multiplied by distance. So makikita natin na hindi siya vector quantity, though it's a product of a vector quantity and your distance. Why? Because your distance is directional. Directional kasi yung distance mo. Makikita natin na mayroong mga vector quantity na product ng vector quantity at saka ng scalar quantity. This distance is a scalar quantity. Distance. Kaya lang, directional siya. May direction, meaning kung saan yung direction ng distance na yun, dun lang yung force na i-define mo. Yun yung usual niya. Kaya yung work mo is not a vector quantity. Dito yan ha. Chapter 6, yan. Yan siya. Sorry. It's a product, sorry. It's a product of force and distance. Your distance also a vector quantity kasi nga directional siya. Distance in terms of, hindi naman siya displacement kasi distance yung sinasabi nila kasi i-define mo kasi yung force kung saan lang naka-define yung distance mo. Parang yung key dito yung distance mo. Para di ako nahihirapan. Kasi yung force mo kahit lumiko yan kahit saan, yung work mo is nakadepende kung ano yung distance na ita-travel nun. So meaning, yung distance na yun, dun mo lang i-define yung force mo. So magiging directional to siya. Kaya, I think this is also the concept of your dot product. Kaya nga dot dito. Okay? Dot product. Yun yung concept ng dot product mo. So, application of your vector multiplication, which is scalar products. Okay? So that is work. Force times distance. Unit nito, of course, that would be Newton meter. For force, that's Newton. Then seconds for standard, standard Newton meter. So you have Newton meter. Newton meter is actually a unit already of energy, which is joule. Okay? So yung Newton meter mo is joule. Newton meter mo is joule. Directional, sorry. Mga wawala-wala pa si sir, ano? But anyway, that is your work. And then definition of your kinetic energy, your K is just, I think this is already from your high school. Dito yung gagamitin natin is 1/2 mv. mv squared. So, yung kinetic energy is yung definition, simple definition yan, as long na mayroong kang movement, you have a kinetic energy for that. So whether it's first law or second law, first law of your dynamics is your law of equilibrium. So alam naman natin na pag may constant velocity ka, wala kang acceleration, meron ka pa ring movement. Therefore, your velocity is being defined. So you can still get the kinetic energy of that object or system. So that is K, kinetic energy, 1/2 mv squared. So m is mass. So you can just imagine the unit for this is kilogram standard. And then your velocity is meters per second. So pag i-square mo yan, yung usual nito, kasi kinakabit to kasi mga energy concepts to eh. So usual nito, para madali na, kasi minsan talaga, tulad ko, I don't know, ngayon talaga, ganun lang ako mag-isip. More usually sa units, para hindi ako masyadong, of course, you need because alam ko na kasi yung concept, yung theory behind it. Kaya ngayon, yung tinitingnan ko lang, pag nagsusolve ako ng problem, is parang yung mga units. Siguro, makakatulong to sa'yo kasi in my years of ganun ako mag-isip. So maybe you can cut your learning by also doing it like that. So yung meter mo dito, i-separate, makikita natin yung kilograms meters per second mo is already Newton. Yun yung definition ng Newton. Mass and then acceleration. And then, that distance, nm, that is 1 joule. So units, kakatalo sa units, ano? So that is your kinetic energy, definition of your kinetic energy. Your kinetic energy again is hindi rin siya vector quantity. Scalar din siya. Scalar quantity. Actually sa mga energy concept hindi naman sila vector quantity pero meron silang of course yung negative na part which usually signifies lang kung papasok or palabas. Mga ganun lang eh. Anyway, projecting it to the next topics probably. Yun yung kinetic energy mo. Yung next is your potential energy. Medyo dalawa dito. Yung usually sa high school, yung alam lang natin yung gravitational, U-grav. U-grav yung notation nito. That is, U-grav is mgy. So tingnan muna natin. Ito yan sa formula nyo ha. Ito yung kinetic energy mo, mv squared. Tapos, punta tayo sa potential. Kaya lang, dalawa to sila. To, U-grav. Hindi pa to. Kasi application to eh. Yan. Yung U-grav mo, yung U-grav mo is mgy. So, alam naman natin yung definition ng potential energy is the energy the object possess by virtue of position. Yung kinetic energy mo by virtue of movement, by virtue of velocity. So, pag meron kang position, which is, palagi naman siyang may position, di ba? Usually, because of each body, every body which has mass will accelerate towards one another. So actually, yung U-grav mo dito sa Earth, na-define yan is because meron kang G. So meaning, pag may position ka malayo sa core ng center ng Earth because yung pull ng gravity natin nasa center of Earth, of course, yun yung definition ng Y mo. Kaya yun yung by virtue of position. In terms of kung saan ka banda sa humihila ng, which is the Earth usually. So that is U gravity. Potential energy, gravity. Yun yung simple definition niya. May energy na sila basta mayroong position at saka mayroon namang usual position, mayroong movement. So kung walang movement, by virtue of position. Kung may movement, by virtue of kinetic energy or maybe silang dalawa. Diba? As it moves. Yun yung simple. Kaya yung dalawa na yun, yun yung basic sa mga energy. Doon pinagdiderive yung mga energy rin na marami. Diba? Marami naman yan sila. But anyway, yun lang yung sabi ko doon. And then, mayroon tayong dalawa, of course, yung tinatawag natin na elastic potential energy. UL, elastic. So, ito is, yung concept nito is galing sa spring. Sa force na generate ng spring. Yan. So, by virtue of position, mula sa spring na naka-stretch or naka-compress, meron kang potential energy dun. Okay? Or magiging energy. Pwedeng magpagkunan ng energy. Kikita nyo? Yung position mo, kasi wala ka pa namang movement. Sa position pa lang, meron kang potential or pwedeng maging. Di ba? Yun yung basic na wording ng potential. So, yun na lang yung madaling pag-imagine sa potential energy. So, U grav is mgy, yung UL is 1/2 kx squared. Yung k dito is usually a constant, a proportionality constant yan ng mga spring. So, yung spring, minimeasure yan yung constant. So, ganun din sa kuan. Of course, you do experiments. Kung kayo yung gagawa ng spring, you have to derive your spring constant. Kasi constant lang naman to, di ba? You could just imagine, nakagawa ka ng spring. And then, i-compress mo, hilahin mo, and then it will give you that distance from the unstretched or uncompressed spring. Yung x mo kasi is distance from uncompressed string. Uncompressed. So, yung nasa equilibrium siya or wala siyang any stress. Okay? So, yun yung x mo, yung distance mula dun. Whether it be to the left or to the right is compressed, to the right is stretched. So, ini-squared naman yung distance na yun. So, you have that elastic potential energy. Okay? Yan lang basic definition. So, that is energy concept. Another energy concept, yun yung tatlo. U grav at saka yung U elastic. U elastic. Yung U grav is mgy, yung m dito is mass, g dito is yung constant ng pull ng gravity, at yung y mo is yung height usually. Height. By virtual position. Okay? And then you have elastic potential energy. So, ibig sabihin yung gravity na to, yung U grav na to, palagi tong vertical. Palaging vertical yung pag-measure sa U grav. Kasi yun naman yung G. Okay? So, makes it hindi siya vector, diretso lang siya. Yung elastic mo naman, by virtue of the spring. Kasi usually dito, ini-imagine natin yun na yung spring nakasampa dun sa frictionless na, walang friction na top. Tapos pinapa-bounce back natin yung spring. So, yun yung elastic potential energy mo. That is yung 1/2, yung K is constant. Again, dinefine yan. Or kung kayong gagawa ng spring, you measure that one. And then your X is your distance from the unstretched or uncompressed spring. So, those are energy concepts. Work, potential energy, and kinetic energy. Now, for momentum concepts, dun na makikita niyo yung application ng product of vectors. Makikita natin yung momentum mo, definition ng momentum mo is the mass Mass is a scalar quantity multiplied by velocity. So as long na may velocity ka rin, of course, all object has mass, so you can define a momentum of that. So yung mga nagmo-move, whether it's first law or second law. Or maybe lagpas pa nun, di ba? Oh, anyway, second law cover naman lahat ng may acceleration. Whether yung acceleration mo is linear. So, pa-paraphrase ko lang, yung acceleration mo is linear, meaning hindi siya complicated, gano'n na lang. You can define a force which is not complicated actually. Yung ibang iniskipan natin, kasi yung mga force nun na hindi na complicated, yung force nun yung complicated na, meaning yung acceleration mo is hindi na constant. But usually, dito sa physics, hindi pa naman tayo yung mga simple lang, of course. So, anyway, momentum is just, definition would be mass multiplied by velocity, but now, this is already a vector quantity. Kasi yung V mo, nakadepende yung momentum mo dun sa V mo. So, yung V mo is vector quantity, therefore, your momentum mo is a vector quantity. So, this is a scalar quantity multiplied by a vector quantity. So, anyway, while your impulse is also a vector quantity, your impulse mo is notated as J. Maraming definition actually. Pag mga simpleng problem lang, ito lang usually yung gagamitin mo. Basically, magagamit mo ito, pag kinakabit na sila sa force or minsan mathematical yung problem. So, that's why you have these two equations. So, pag madali lang, kung in-state sa problem, ano yung mass, anong velocity, basically, ito lang talaga yung basic na equation. Maging complicated lang siya pag dito banda. Kasi makikita nyo dito, one way that I can imagine this one is, if you have a graph of your force, meaning a function of your summations of forces, pwede natin i-graph yun maliban lang yun sa graph ng, di ba? So dito hindi you can graph anything. If you have a graph of your function, so you can just imagine na cover na dito yung second law of your acceleration. Kasi may summations of force and that is the slope of that line. So pwede pa rin ganun, mathematical yung problem. And then minsan din yung summations of force kinakabit yan sa dynamics na concept or minsan sa kinematics na concept with constant acceleration. So medyo umihirap na siya. Okay? Sa definition ng impulse mo. Momentum, P. Momentum is P. Momentum, mass and velocity. Sa impulse mo naman, yung simple, kaya tinatawag na impulse and momentum kasi ito yung pinakamabilis na connivance or pinanggalingan ng impulse. And that is the change in momentum. Pag may change ka in momentum, that is equal to a property called impulse, J. So, it's already a vector quantity because it's a difference of two vector quantities. Okay? So, kung mapapansin nyo, yung resultant mo is the addition of vectors, yung impulse mo is the subtraction of two vectors. So, doon na pumapasok yung chapter 1 pa rin natin na addition, subtraction, multiplication of vector quantities. So, J. But again, pag humirap yung problem, basically, pag kinakabit na yan sa dynamics or kinematics, ito yung usual na lalabas. Because your momentum is defined as the summations of force multiplied by the change in time. So, yung force mo multiplied by ilang time yan it took, that is the simple definition of your impulse. Okay? May that change in time which is actually corresponding to the change in momentum. Because your momentum is mass times velocity. So, medyo labo-labo na yan sila. And then, this guy over here is again, mathematical. Pag usually, pag Pag mathematical yung problem, I tell you, ito yung gagamitin natin. Mahalata man sa problem kung mathematical siya. Situational gali siya. Now, if the problem is situational, you can predict that you'll just be using, it's either this change in momentum, diba? Sasabihin lang ano yung mass, ano yung velocity. So that would be, you'll be using this one. And also this one. Kung sinasabi, nagbigay lang ng forces, tapos sinam mo siya, tapos nagbigay ng oras, kung saan nag-act ng summation of forces na yun. So, yun lang yung magagamit mo na equation, itong first. So, ito at saka ito, medyo simple lang yung problem. Ito, ganun pa rin dito, di ba? Dinelta lang niya. So, basically, yung equation talaga na gamit dito, ito pag simple at pag mahirap siya, mathematical yung dating niya is, ito siya. Because it defines kahit lagpas ka na sa second law of acceleration. Alam naman natin na pag lumagpas ka sa law of acceleration, meaning yung acceleration mo hindi na constant, medyo complicated na ng problem. At medyo, hindi na yan nangyayari usually sa Earth. Diba? Kaya, hindi tayo makakahanap ng situational na problem na ganun. Usually, yung mga problem na ganun, graphical, or di kaya, yung mathematical, ibibigay niya yung function, yun na. But, the good thing with physics is because, ina-anticipate na natin kung ano man yung mga weird na functions na lalabas. Yun yung gamit ng mga ganito. Diba? Hindi natin na-imagine sila, pero alam natin mag-manipulate sa kanila kasi hindi natin sila makikita or baka makita natin, before natin sila makita sa realidad is alam na natin yung properties nila because they are just mathematical jargons. So those are energy, impulse and momentum concepts. Okay? So you have impulse and momentum. Momentum yung simple dyan. Momentum is again, review, P, yung notation niya, it's the product of mass and velocity. Yung velocity mo is a vector quantity. Meaning, dito nakasalalay yung, so this is a product of scalar quantity and vector quantity. Dito, kanina, this is a product of a vector quantity, two vector quantities, pero yung lalabas ay scalar quantity. Yun yung tatawag na natin na dot product. Okay? Yun lang siguro. Dito sa application, of course, dito na medyo humihirap itong chapter 6, 7, and 8. Kasi, pinakaunang simple na application natin, power. Madali lang naman yung power. Yung power natin is just usually yung power, simple lang yung mga problem dito. Again, pag mathematical lang siya, ito yung may mga limits, calculus based siya. Usually yung problem dyan is mathematical. But by definition, pinakagamit dito, ito lang siya. Ito. Kung situational. Your power is just a scalar product of your force and velocity. So that is your power. Force and velocity, or another gamit dito is ito, yung change of work mo with respect to change in time. Kaya lang, sinignify niya na average power. Average power yan. Okay? So, pag mga simple, i-define yung power o yung work mo, tapos yung change in work with respect to change in time. Ano yung pagkakaiba ng work? Meaning, i-define siguro yung dalawang instance na may work dito, yung work mo is force times distance, tapos yung work dito is force times distance, as i-divide yan kung ano yung time na ginamit para dyan. And that is the definition of your power. Pero, signify siya na average power. Yung power na talagang power, ito siya, walang average. Tulad ng definition ng average velocity mo at saka average velocity, instantaneous velocity, average acceleration, and instantaneous acceleration. So, yung power average, you could treat is like that. Yung ima-minus mo lang yung dalawang work mo, divide by time. but the general, I do believe, I do think it's this equation here. Your power is just the scalar product of your force and velocity. Okay, that's first simpleng application ng energy concepts. And then, dito na humihirap, i-skipan lang natin, I think ito lang yung sa atin, ito, dito banda, the work energy theorem. We can use the work energy theorem, total work, there's a definition of your total work, is just a change in your kinetic energy. So, pag may nagmumove ka dyan, nag-iba yung velocity niya, so that change in velocity will, of course, have a change in kinetic energy. And that change in kinetic energy is what we call total work. Total work done. Okay? So, actually, itong mga ganito na, pwede mo siyang gamitin yung work concept sa pag-solve ng kinematics at saka dynamics because I've seen problems. Anyway, I've already gave you series of problems. So, tingnan nyo lang dun yung mga example. Okay? Sa ito, work energy theorem at sa potential energy, ito na sila. Yung work, gravitational work mo, mayroon tayong mga definition dito na naman. So, yung work mo, inihiwalay-hiwalay. So, mayroon tayong definition ng gravitational work. That is the change in potential energy. Okay, mgy1, mgy2. Mapapansin nyo na mgy2 yung nasa ubos. Kasi, by definition, positive yung work mo pag binibigay ng system. So, you can just imagine, spontaneous siya. Pag yung isang bagay nasa taas, i-release mo siya, kusa siyang bababa. So, yun yung positive ng gravitational work mo. Meaning, parang yung concept dyan, pwede siyang magbigay ng work. Okay? Or pwede siyang magbigay ng energy na makakagawa ng work. That is a positive connotation of your work. Okay? You grab. Kaya, parang negative of change of gravitational potential energy. But usually, positive to siya tulad ng object na nasa baba. Kaya lang, pag yung bagay ay nasa baba, tapos ipupunta mo siya sa taas tulad na nagbubuhat ka, that is a connotation na negative yung yung work dyan. Negative yung work dyan kasi you have to apply energy para ma-push mo yung isang bagay na pataas, uphill. Kaya, negative yung U-grab mo dito. Parang ikokontra mo kasi yung gravitational work which is palaging pababa. Kita nyo yung concept? Okay? So, yun siya. And then, you have your, same with your elastic potential energy. Usually, magagamit mo to siya as long na hindi ka pa na-release sa spring. Usually. Nakadikit ka pa sa spring, meaning, pwede mo yung magamit na concept niya. Kasi pag na-release mo na sa spring, basically, yung naka-angkla na concept mo na lang dyan is, pwede ka ng dynamics. So, you could treat this as may velocity ba, constant, meaning probably walang friction yung floor mo, mga ganun. Okay? But for the elastic part na work, is parang naka-attach pa siya dun sa spring mo. And then you can define an elastic work, what that? And that is 1/2 kx squared at saka change in x1 and x2. Diba? Kasi pag nirelease na yan, medyo hihina na yan. Kasi yung nakita nyo, yung concept. Kaya, parang ganun din na concept yung kanina. Yung elastic potential energy mo is x1, x2. Kasi kasi yung concept dyan is nirelease na yung compressed or stretched spring. So, spontaneous na yan siya, maggagalaw. Kita nyo, meaning, pag ipupush mo pa lang yung spring, that is a negative concept for that because you have to apply work on it. So, kaya negative elastic potential energy. Pag yung concept is, ipupush mo pa lang string. Pero pag nirelease mo na yung spring, kasi yun yung how it was formulated is mas malakas yung spontaneous na yung Spontaneity, usually. Yun yung katulad din sa gravitational. Spontaneity yung derivation niya, kaya positive siya dito. Ibig sabihin, pag positive siya dito, spontaneity yung tinitingnan yun. Meaning, pwedeng makagawa. Kita nyo? Yun yung concept. So, that is your another application for your energy concept. And then this, I think, these two here, the first one is conserved mechanical energy and this another one is unconserved mechanical energy. Pag parang yung first case nito is parang free fall lang siya or free na gumagalaw or wala kang external force. Yun, wala kang external force, you can apply this balance, energy balance. Parang energy balance na to papunta sa energy balance. What comes in is what goes out. Or you can just imagine a body from a high position, tapos nirelease mo siya, of course, that potential energy will be converted, parang ganun yung concept niya, converted to a kinetic energy. Kaya bibilis ng bibilis yan as it dissipates or as it goes to the center of the earth. So, ganun lang yung concept dito sa conserved. Mechanical energy is conserved. Yung balance lang yung ng kinetic at saka potential. Okay? So U1, K1 U1 is K2 U2. Of course, you're talking about U2 as it might be an elastic potential energy or a gravitational potential energy. So you could apply those because those two, elastic and gravitational, could make a thing move, which is the kinetic energy. So balance nun is we call it a mechanical energy, conserved mechanical energy. Okay? So, itong E na to na define, this sum is K plus U. So, K1 U1, first point, is equal to K2 U2. So, first point and second point is just balance, equal. Kaya yun yung concept ng energy balance. Energy balance, parang ganun. Okay? But kung meron ka ng external force, yung external force mo dyan, or external work, so naka-define yan doon sa other. So ganun pa rin, but usually yung term na to is hindi conserved yung mechanical energy mo. Unconserved mechanical energy. So meron kang work others. Diba? Doon sa first na case. So you could just imagine, pag galing sa taas, pababa, tapos tinulak mo, yung work other yan, yung pagtulak mo because you have a force and then times distance with that. So you can define a work from that. A simple na explanation, di ba? Galing sa taas, na finish mo pa. Di ba? So meron meron ng external force which is lumped in the work others. But of course, hindi lang. Yun yung pinakasimpleng kuwan. Kasi maraming instance na pwedeng mag-create ng external force. At doon na nakalump yung work on others. Okay? Meaning, mayroon kang ipinasok sa system before siya gumalaw. And then balance with that. So, ito yung mechanical energy unconserved. Dito lang, itong dalawa lang na concept na to, okay na tayo dyan. And then, yun na yung whole. So, in terms of energy concepts, work, potential energy, kinetic energy, momentum concept, of course, yung definition mo ng impulse ang momentum, may banggaan pa yun pero tinanggal ko na yung mga collisions kasi para makatipid tayo ng time. Of course, kailangan lang natin yung concept ng impulse and momentum with respect to time. And then for application, of course, we start with your kinetic energy theorem, yung K1, K2, di ba, is equal to your work. At saka yung mechanical energy is conserved and unconserved mechanical energy, which is papunta dun sa balance naman ng kinetic energy plus potential energy. Pag walang outside force, we call it mechanical conserved. Pag meron, is unconserved mechanical energy. Kasi parang yung K1 at K2 mo is accounting for the mechanical energy. Ganun lang yung pag-summarize ko sa chapter 4 natin. Okay? Thank you guys for listening.